After failing the college entrance exam, I married Gu Lin and worked hard for him for 40 years. Yet after his death, he didn't even allow me to attend his funeral, leaving half of his estate to our children and the other half to his first love. All that was left for me was a single sentence. The admission letter that was taken away, Ivy repaid it with these 40 years. I wasn't actually failed the exam back then, I was actually robbed of my acceptance letter and given to my first love as a gesture of affection. I caused a scene at the funeral, accusing them of 40 years of injustice, only to be rejected by my own children. Dad and Aunt Lin were meant to be together. It was you who interfered and ruined their happiness. If you keep making a fuss, don't blame us for leaving you in the countryside to fend for yourself. I was so angry I could have died. And when I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the year of my college entrance exams. At that time, the admission letter was still on its way, and my life was just beginning. Su Hanmei, we're about to get married. What are you still making a fuss about? The familiar sound of scolding reached my ears, abruptly clearing my previously muddled consciousness. I had actually returned to 40 years ago, before I had married Gu Lin, and before he had stolen my admission letter. Everything was still within reach. Gu Lin was still chattering away in front of me. It's just a bowl of meat. Are you going to die if you don't get this bite? I've already said I only see Jiao Jiao as a younger sister. Do you have to think of us in such a dirty way? If this keeps up, I don't think we need to get married anymore. Suppressing the excitement in my heart, I said coldly, then let's not get married. In just a few words, Gu Lin was instantly frozen in place. Su Hanmei, what are you saying? I said, let's not get married. I snatched the meat from Gu Lin's hand, suppressing the murderous intent in my heart, and said, using your fiancé's flesh to feed some wimp. I don't want to marry him anyway. Seeing me about to leave, Gu Lin, furious, grabbed me. Su Hanmei, what do you mean by that? If you're not going to marry me, who do you plan to marry? With how foolish you are. Do you think you're like Jiao Jiao, capable of getting into university? I advise you to know your place, or else when the time comes, even if you beg me to marry you, I won't want you. Slap. I slapped Gu Lin hard, glaring at him fiercely as I spoke. Gu Lin, let me tell you, Su Hanmei, don't want a man like you who's entangled with someone else. Without giving Gu Lin a chance to react, I quickly walked away, holding that bowl of meat. The pain in my palm constantly reminded me that all of this was real. I really was reborn. In my previous life, my grandfather, remembering the kindness of Uncle Gu for saving his life, made a dying wish that my parents would agree to let me marry Gu Lin if I failed to get into college. I remember my parents' expectations, studying day and night, only to receive the news that I had failed the college entrance exam. I was deeply devastated and, in a daze, married Gu Lin. For a full 40 years, I took care of Gu Lin's seriously ill mother, raised his younger siblings, and worked hard to manage all the affairs of the household. I thought my efforts were all worthwhile. It wasn't until after Gu Lin's death that I was forbidden from attending the funeral. And even the property was given to his children and the woman who had been entangled with him for half his life. Claiming to marry me was just out of guilt for taking my admission letter back then. Even on his deathbed, he still said he didn't owe me anything. I was supposed to go to college, have my own career, and a new life, but he ruined my entire life, leaving me exhausted from 40 years of hard work, falling seriously ill. Yet he still claimed I was living a lucky life. The thought of it made me want to grind every bone of Gu Lin into dust. I hurried to the village post station and asked if the admission notice had arrived. Uncle Wang fanned himself and waved his hand, saying, "Why are you all coming to ask me one by one? This admission notice is such a joyful event. I'll let you know when it arrives. Chili Plum. Just wait." One by one, I quickly sensed something was off and hurriedly pressed for an answer. "Uncle Wang, you said everyone came to ask. Who else is there?" Uncle Wang gave me a strange look and teased again. "Who else could it be? Just Gu Lin and Educated Youth Lin. Wasn't Educated Youth Lin in the same exam year as you? Gu Lin must be thinking of you. He said if you get in, he'll wait a few years for you. If you don't, He'll submit the marriage application right away to give you a proper status. Hanmei, look how attentive he is to you. He's really a good young man. I unconsciously clenched my fingers. Gu Lin certainly puts on a good act in front of others, making everyone believe he is deeply devoted to me. That's why no one in my past life could have imagined that Gu Lin would do something like taking my admission letter and giving it to Lin Jiao. Thinking of this, I lowered my head, and my eyes instantly reddened. Uncle Wang, could I trouble you with something? From now on, please don't let Gu Lin take my things anymore. You have no idea. Today he insisted on snatching the meat my mother made for me to give to Lin Jiao. He said she's weak and needs meat to nourish herself, and that a country bumpkin like me is like a wild boar that can't appreciate fine grain. Giving it to me would be a waste. Upon hearing this, Uncle Wang slammed the fan in his hand onto the table and glared as he spoke. What kind of thing is Gu Lin saying? What's wrong with the countryside? The working people are the most glorious. Why should your flesh be given to others? No, I need to have a good talk with his mother. I quickly grabbed Uncle Wang, pretending to be wronged. That won't be necessary. Aunt Gu is in poor health. What if she gets so angry that something happens to her? He openly takes what he's entitled to, but who knows how much he's secretly given away without my knowledge. That's why I thought I should ask Uncle Wang to keep an eye on things for me. From now on, no one should give anything addressed to me except me, just coincidentally. This bowl of meat will be my thanks for troubling Uncle Wang. Uncle Wang still wanted to refuse, but he couldn't resist my repeated requests and finally accepted it. With that matter settled, I carried the empty bowl back home. As soon as I arrived home, my parents saw the empty bowl in my hand and exclaimed in surprise. Hanmei, did you finish eating so quickly? I put the bowl down and shook my head. No, I gave it to Uncle Wang. Mom was just about to speak when suddenly a voice filled with anger cut through the air. Su Hanmei. What do you mean? Why did you give the meat to Uncle Wang? I turned around and said disdainfully. What? Do I need your permission to use my own things? My mother took my hand and also asked. Hanmei, Gu Lin is right. Wasn't this meat meant for you to share with Gu Lin? How? I silently clenched my hands, then smiled slightly. Gu Lin, why don't you finish what you're saying? You want to take my flesh, but you're going to give it to Lin Jiao. You keep saying that we country folks would be wasting it if we ate it, and that it should be given to Lin Jiao to nourish her. Why should our family's things be given to you to curry favor? Gu Lin panicked and immediately retorted. What nonsense are you talking? Whoever talks nonsense shall be struck by lightning and die a horrible death. I immediately took over the conversation, stepping closer to him. What's wrong? You say all sorts of things in front of me. Don't you dare say that in front of elders. Gu Lin. It's true that your grandfather saved my grandfather's life, but over all these years, our family has helped you a lot too. Giving money when you needed money and food when you needed food. My father even lost the use of one hand saving your father. Surely the debt of gratitude has been repaid by now. Are you planning to drag our family into this for the next 18 generations? As soon as these words were spoken, my parents' faces immediately turned grim. Originally, this marriage arrangement was something my grandfather had forced my parents to agree to under the guise of filial piety on his deathbed. My parents naturally understood that this was my grandfather using me to pressure them into continuing to support the Gu family. It seems Gu Lin is a decent person, and with his grandfather threatening to take his own life, he had no choice but to agree. But if they were to force me to support a mistress, they would rather die than agree. Seeing his parents' troubled expressions, Gu Lin hurriedly said, Su Hanmei. What nonsense are you talking about? I have nothing but a clear relationship with Lin Jiao. While you should stop being so smug. As long as you fail the exam, you'll have to marry whether you want to or not. With these words, he stormed off angrily, being cursed by Gu Lin like that. Dad's face naturally didn't look very good. Hanmei, if you truly don't want to marry, even if it costs me my life, I will protect you no matter what. Mother also held me, tears welling in her eyes. My dear daughter, why must they treat you so cruelly? Feeling the warmth of my mother's embrace, my heart ached even more. That being said, the village has always held filial piety above all else. Grandfather may be gone, but grandmother is still here. Grandmother has always followed grandfather's words. And if I truly refuse to marry, it wouldn't be surprising if she resorts to threatening suicide. By then, the villagers would criticize my parents so harshly that it would feel like death by 1,000 cuts. How could I bear to do that? I wiped away my tears and comforted them. It's okay, Mom and Dad. As long as I get into college, no one in this village can say anything. Mom was taken aback for a moment, then quickly understood and said, "So you went to deliver the meat to Uncle Wang to guard against Gu Lin pulling something. But such a big matter. Even such a big matter might not be beyond their doing." Dad stood up, ruffling my hair and said, "Han Mei, leave this matter to Dad. Dad believes you will definitely get in. And you won't let anyone take what belongs to you." I nodded firmly. For the next few days, my parents and I took turns going to the post station every day, afraid that Gu Lin might find an opportunity. Meanwhile, Gu Lin and Lin Jiao were also having a hard time. Lin Jiao was a sent-down youth, and as soon as she arrived in the countryside, she started an affair with Gu Lin. For those tiring tasks, Gu Lin, being mindful of the differences between men and women, couldn't do them. So he always asked me to help. I once believed Gu Lin's words, thinking he was working so hard each time to have Lin Jiao teach his younger siblings. Once I came to my senses, I naturally stopped doing those tasks. Without my labor, Lin Jiao complained of exhaustion after just a few days. And in the end, Gu Lin had to grit his teeth and step in to help. But rumors began to spread, and Gu Lin was only back home for a visit, would soon return to the army. After much thought, he still came to me. "Han Mei, I know I went too far with what I said before, but there's really nothing between me and Lin Jiao. She'll soon be going off to university anyway. What could possibly happen between us? I really just want her to help teach Xiaoyun and Xiaoya. You'll be their sister-in-law in the future. Can't you just give in a little?" I impatiently pushed him away, enunciating each word clearly. "Don't try to get close to me. I'd rather marry a pig or a dog than marry you." Gu Lin, whom I had pushed away, said angrily, "Su Han Mei, a vulgar woman like you. How could you possibly get into university? You just wait." I couldn't be bothered to deal with Gu Lin and hurried off in the other direction. When I saw that familiar figure again under the tree, I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Good. I made it in time. In my previous life, while working, I accidentally saved a middle-aged man who had fainted here. I thought it was just a small act of kindness. So after he asked for my name, I truthfully told him and didn't think much of it afterward. It was only later that I found out this man was named Song Ping Wang, who held significant weight in the military. After Gu Lin learned that I had saved him, he used this favor to help himself climb step by step, eventually reaching the position of chief. Yet in my previous life, he repeatedly humiliated me, claiming I was worthless and praising the powerful backgrounds of other men's wives, all while concealing this act of kindness. In this life, I will certainly not let Gu Lin benefit from it again. Thinking of this, I quickly applied some first aid to him, just as I had done in my previous life. Soon, the man slowly regained consciousness. "Little girl, thank you for saving me. May I ask your name?" I was taken aback for a moment, then smiled and said, "Su Han Mei. It was just a small favor. I still have to go help with the work, so I'll be on my way now." Without waiting for Song Ping Wang to ask more, I waved my hand and quickly left. I didn't plan to use Song Ping Wang for anything. I've heard of his reputation as a soldier of unyielding integrity. Such a good man shouldn't die here. And I only need to ensure he won't be coerced by Gu Lin with favors in the future. Having resolved a major issue, I felt much lighter at heart. In the following days, Gu Lin was surprisingly well behaved. And even Lin Jiao no longer flaunted Gu Lin's affection for her in front of me as she had before. But as the days passed, the admission letter still hadn't arrived. In the end, Uncle Wang, seeing me ask, couldn't help but ask as well, "Han Mei, maybe she just didn't pass the exam." I naturally knew it was impossible, so I quickly asked again, Uncle Wang. Do you know if Lin Jiao got accepted? Uncle Wang shook his head and spoke. Not exactly. But someone saw Lin Jiqing packing her things. They say even though she didn't get in, someone from her family came to take her back. Hearing this, I immediately sensed something was wrong. In my past life, Gu Lin insisted on giving my admission letter to Lin Jiao because Lin Jiao's family refused to help her return to the city unless she could get into college on her own. How could it possibly change now? Suddenly, as if struck by another possibility, I pressed further. Uncle Wang. The mail carrier just left. Right. Seeing Uncle Wang nod, I didn't have time to say another word and hurriedly ran toward the village entrance. Finally, at the village entrance, I managed to stop the mail carrier who was about to leave. Hello. I'd like to ask if there's any express mail for Su Hanmei. The postman thought carefully for a moment and asked in confusion. Wasn't it already picked up? They said it was Su Hanmei's husband. I even asked the villagers from your day village, and they all said it was him. In an instant, blood and chi surged upward. For a brief moment, I even felt like I couldn't catch my breath. The burdens of my past life weighed heavily on my heart, and a surge of anger drove me to rush toward the Gu family's residence. I encountered many villagers along the way, but I didn't even have time to greet anyone. I rushed into the Gu family's house and immediately spotted Gu Lin flirting with Lin Jiao. Without thinking, I suddenly slapped Gu Lin. Gu Lin, where's my admission letter? Gu Lin's face turned red from my slap, and the villagers who had rushed over upon sensing something wrong froze in place. Su Hanmei, what nonsense are you talking about? Seeing so many people arrive, Gu Lin forced himself to stay calm and shouted, what acceptance letter? You must be the one who's gone mad from failing the exams. Seeing Gu Lin's shameless face, I couldn't help but shout angrily, you're the one who's crazy. I wondered why Uncle Wang couldn't get it, so you took my acceptance letter from the postman, and let the villagers say you're my beloved. Pooh, you shamelessly call me your lover when we're not even married. As soon as these words were spoken, someone in the crowd immediately began to speak. Speaking of it, Gu Lin got a package from Su Hanmei from the delivery man. But wasn't that thing given to Su Hanmei? This won't be for nothing, right? Seeing the onlookers start to question, Lin Jiao immediately grabbed an envelope from the side and said, that's it. I just got too busy and forgot to give it. I snatched it over, but when I opened it, it was just a blank sheet of paper. Gu Lin immediately realized and sneered. Do you think that's why I didn't give it to you? What's so special about a blank sheet of paper? It was clearly you who swapped out what was inside. I clenched the white paper and glared at Gu Lin, saying, at that moment, Gu Yun and Gu Yu ran over, pushing me aside and saying, nonsense. It's just a piece of white paper. Do you have any evidence to prove that it was my brother who took your admission letter? The villagers also nodded in agreement, trying to persuade her. That's right. Gu Yun and Gu Yu are the most honest kids. Hanmei. This must be a misunderstanding. Even my parents, who had rushed over, were momentarily unsure whether to persuade me to leave. Gu Lin, seeing this, became even more smug, mocking him. Su Hanmei, why are you so reluctant to marry me? Wants to be a golden phoenix and fly away. A sparrow is just a sparrow. It can never become a phoenix. You'd better just wait for me to submit the marriage application and marry me properly. I think it's you who should honestly come clean. A serious voice came from behind, instantly drawing everyone's attention. The crowd turned to look, and saw a middle-aged man with an imposing presence walking over. Little girl, we meet again. I stared blankly at Song Ping Wang, not expecting him to appear here at this moment. Gu Lin seemed to have caught me off guard and immediately shouted, great, Su Hanmei, I was wondering why you suddenly became so reluctant to marry me. So it turns out you found someone else. This man could be your father's age. How could you be so shameless? The villagers nearby also started discussing. Who is this guy anyway? That's true. Why would Hanmei suddenly refuse to get married out of the blue? Could she really have taken a liking to this older man? I never would have thought. This usually well-behaved girl. I couldn't take it anymore and was about to slap Gu Lin when he grabbed my hand. What's wrong? Hit a nerve and now you're angry. Su Hanmei, don't forget it was my grandfather who saved yours. This marriage arrangement was settled long ago. And now it's impossible to back out. What admission letter? I think you're just dreaming. If you're so capable, why don't you make this old man conjure up an admission letter for you? As soon as Gu Lin finished speaking, another voice suddenly appeared. Shut up, Gu Lin. Do you know who the person in front of you is? After clearly seeing the newcomer, Gu Lin's expression changed dramatically. Company Commander Li, what are you doing here? Li Mingjie looked disappointed and said angrily. Why am I here? Maybe you should ask yourself what you've done. This is Chief Song. This female comrade saved Chief Song. Chief Song came specifically to express his gratitude. Once Director Song arrived, you had the audacity to slander him right away. Uve truly brought shame upon our 17th company. Gu Lin's face instantly turned pale. And his expression toward Song Pingwang became timid and fearful. Director Song. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you. Before Gu Lin could finish speaking, Song Pingwang coldly waved his hand. Without giving him a chance to explain further, he turned to me and spoke gently. Little girl. Are you sure he took your admission letter? I nodded and replied firmly. Yes, that's him. Given his recent entanglement with Lin Jiqing, I have reasonable suspicion that the admission letter was taken and given to her. Hearing this, Lin Jiao immediately panicked. Su Hanmei. What are you talking about? My admission letter was earned by my own efforts. How did it become yours? Do you really think you can just take it by force? Relying on the presence of a superior. Jiao Jiao. Gu Lin immediately shouted in rebuke. What nonsense are you talking about? Chief Song is definitely not that kind of person. He turned his gaze toward me, his eyes filled with a hint of pleading. Hanmei, Jiao Jiao isn't lying to you. That admission letter really belongs to her. I know you don't want to marry me, but you can't lie to me like this. Gu Lin. Don't falsely accuse me. Unmoved, I said coldly. If it's not mine, then why doesn't she just take out the admission letter and check the name on it? Or are you just feeling guilty and afraid to do it? The villagers nodded one after another, whispering among themselves. That's right. Whose is this anyway? Just check the names and it'll be clear, won't it? Moreover, I heard from Uncle Wang that the Gu family boy often secretly takes May's things to curry favor with Lin the educated youth. Flirting is one thing, but directly stopping the mail carrier to snatch someone else's admission letter, that's a whole different matter. There must be something fishy going on here. Everyone had originally thought I had gone mad from failing the exam. But now, seeing Gu Lin and Lin Jiao acting so furtively, they all began to suspect. Li Mingjie urged even more. Gu Lin, this female comrade is right. Can't you just take it out and check the name? Seeing everyone pressing him, Lin Jiao stuck out her neck and said directly, the admission letter isn't with me. I darkened my expression and immediately asked, what do you mean? How could it not be with you? Lin Jiao rolled her eyes and spoke up. This isn't my home. Why should I leave my admission letter here? Naturally, I filled in my home address. My parents sent a letter informing me that I got accepted. What? Do I have to take you to my house to prove it? If you don't believe me, you can search my house. See if you can find the admission letter. Seeing Gu Lin and Lin Jiao's expressions, I immediately realized they had been prepared all along. After all, Chief Song is a military man. How could he possibly search a female comrade's house without any evidence? Even if he did search, the evidence would likely have been hidden long ago. Chief Song, who had remained silent for a long time, darkened his expression. Gu Lin, do you really think passing or failing can only be determined by a single notice? At first, I was stunned, then couldn't help but look at Chief Song with joy, quickly following up with a question. Chief Song, do you have a solution? Chief Song turned slightly, revealing the person who had been standing behind him, Principal Zhang. I looked at Principal Zhang in surprise, momentarily at a loss. Didn't you go back to the city? Why are you here now? Principal Zhang gently stroked my head and said helplessly to me, I was just about to head back to the city. Coincidentally, Chief Song approached me and asked about you. So I came along. With that said, Principal Zhang looked at Lin Jiao with a serious expression. Lin Jiao, do I need to spell it out for you? It was Su Hanmei who got into college. Not you. The school has records of everything. Though you really plan to go to university under the name of Su Chonghan Mimi. Upon hearing this, Gu Lin's face instantly turned deathly pale. He never expected that I would coincidentally save Chief Song and just happened to witness this scene. Even the lies he told to Lin Jiao were exposed one by the witnesses brought along. Lin Jiao was also full of panic. No longer showing the slightest trace of her earlier coquettishness. She trembled slightly as she grabbed Principal Zhang's hand and said, "Principal, that admission letter is mine. If it's not mine, I can't go back. I don't want to stay in this rural place anymore. Please. Give me this chance." Principal Zhang pulled Lin Jiao's hand away and said coldly, "This is no excuse for you to take Han Mei's admission letter. Return the admission letter now." Chief Song turned to Gu Lin and spoke with hostility. "The facts are right here. Gu Lin, are you still planning to keep covering for her this promotion in the military?" Hearing this, Gu Lin immediately grew anxious. His performance in the military had been commendable, which was why Captain Li had taken notice of him. To ruin his own future for Lin Jiathat was something he absolutely couldn't bring himself to do. "Jiao Jiao, the admission letter. Give it back to Han Mei quickly. At worst, we'll take the exam again next year." Gu Lin anxiously looked at Lin Jiao, urging her to take out the admission notice. Lin Jiao stared at Gu Lin in disbelief, pushing him away forcefully. "Gu Lin, you make it sound so easy. Are you giving me money? You've fallen out with Su Hanmei. So the money won't go to your family. Where are you going to get money to support my education? Money matters. There will always be a way to solve them." Gu Lin was extremely anxious, his gaze on Lin Jiao carrying a hint of threat. "Do you really have to make a scene with me now?" Lin Jiao, spoiled by Gu Lin, immediately got angry when threatened. She suddenly unbuttoned her clothes and pulled out the admission notice. I immediately rushed forward to snatch the admission notice, but Lin Jiao beat me to it and tore it into pieces. The scattered fragments drifted down to the ground, and I couldn't help but raise my hand and slap Lin Jiao. "Lin Jiao, are you crazy?" No one expected that Lin Jiao would actually hide the admission letter on her person. In this era that values purity and reputation, who would dare to search her body? Lin Jiao covered the side of her face that I had struck. Her eyes filled with deep-seated hatred. "I am insane. What I cannot obtain, others cannot obtain either. Su Hanmei, dreaming of going to college. Keep dreaming." I looked at the fragments of acceptance letters scattered all over the floor, and my heart ached as if it were bleeding. Mom walked over and couldn't bear to see me like this, so she supported me. I was just about to bend down to pick it up, but Principal Zhang suddenly grabbed my arm. "Han Mei, don't rush. Chief Song has already taken care of it for you." I looked up at Chief Song in a daze, only to see him nodding at me and saying, "I had already arranged for Tsinghua University to send you another admission letter as soon as I heard you didn't receive yours. That admission letter I personally made sure to give special instructions. It had to be delivered directly into your hands. Little one, you earned your place at this university. It's only natural that you should be the one to read it." My eyes welled up with tears as I repeatedly bowed to Chief Song in gratitude. "Chief Song, thank you so much." Overwhelmed with joy, my parents also kept thanking Chief Song and the others. The villagers gathered around also breathed a sigh of relief, congratulating me one after another. "How wonderful! May girl can finally go to school. Our Day village has produced a college student too." "That's right. Who said our village couldn't produce a golden phoenix? May girl is the golden phoenix." In contrast to the enthusiastic atmosphere, Gu Lin and Lin Jiao's expressions could be described as extremely unpleasant. After all the trouble, not only did he fail to take my university spot, but he also ruined his future and reputation completely. Everyone tacitly ignored them, and our parents were even more determined to invite Chief Song and his family over for a meal at home. Unable to refuse their parents' kind intentions, Director Song and the others also agreed. The group quickly departed, leaving Gu Lin and his companions with gloomy expressions. Upon returning home, my parents specially bought some meat and brought out the liquor they had treasured for years, insisting on sharing a few drinks with Chief Song and the others. After the meal and drinks, my father looked at me and said, "This daughter of mine has finally pulled through. Director Song, you don't know. She's been shouting since childhood that she wants to accomplish great things and contribute to the country. You said we could take the exams year after year. And I could support it anyway. Precisely because of that marriage contract. She had only this one chance," Dad said while wiping away his tears. I looked at him helplessly and comforted him. "Dad, why bring this up now? Anyway, I've been admitted now. And I don't have to marry Gu Lin anymore. Good days are still ahead." Director Song also patted Dad on the shoulder, looking at me with admiration. "Han Mei is right. The fragrance of plum blossoms comes from bitter cold. Han Mei will surely achieve great things in the future. Coincidentally, I still know some people at Huaqing University, and I'll ask them to take extra care of Han Mei when the time comes. Don't worry about it anymore." With Chief Song's words, my parents finally felt at ease. After the meal, Chief Song left me his phone number and told me to let him know if I ever needed any help. After saying goodbye to Director Song and the others, my parents happily began preparing things I would need for college. Gu Lin wasn't willing to let me go to college like this, so he came to me again with a cheeky smile. "Han Mei, let's get married after you finish college." Having received the admission notice, my last bit of patience for Gu Lin completely vanished. "Gu Lin, how can you be so shameless? We agreed back then that if I got into university, this engagement would be cancelled. Didn't you say I was too stupid to pass the exams? And that you wouldn't stoop to marry me? Let me tell you, it's me who doesn't want you." After scolding Gu Lin, I completely ignored him no matter what. He went to find Grandma again, trying to use Grandpa's last words to pressure her into forcing me to marry him. But when Grandma heard about the things Gu Lin had done, she directly chased him out with a broom. "You little brat. Stealing my granddaughter's admission letter. How dare you bring up the marriage again? Get out." After all this, the Gu family's reputation in the village was completely ruined. Whenever the Gu family members stepped outside, people couldn't help but gather and point fingers. Gu's mother had already been in poor health, and this anger only made her condition worse. Gu Yun and Gu Yu had previously relied on their cuteness and cleverness, and the villagers had always treated them kindly. Back then, they had believed their words without hesitation. Now that the truth had come out, the village children, eager for gossip, had given them the nickname liars. Being young, the children couldn't bear the ridicule, and their resentment toward Gu Lin and Lin Jiao grew even stronger. In the past, the Gu family had our family support, and Gu Lin could save a considerable portion of his monthly allowance and salary for Lin Jiao. But after things turned out like this, my parents naturally refused to help anymore. The expenses for Gu's mother's medicine, Gu Yun and Gu Yu's clothing and education, all fell on Gu Lin alone. He wanted Lin Jiao to contribute some money for emergencies, but she absolutely refused. The two of them argued repeatedly, even almost taking the matter to the team leader. These were all told to me by Mom. She was furious about what the Gu family had done. So naturally, the worse things went for them, the happier she was. I hugged Mom and tried every possible way to persuade her not to dwell on it. What happens to them has nothing to do with us anymore. The good days are still ahead. I wanted to let it go at that, but forgot that some people weren't willing to. That day, I was just about to pack up and go home when, after only a few steps, my legs started feeling weak. At the same time, an inexplicable heat spread throughout my body. Instinctively, I leaned against a tree for support, only to look up and see Gu Lin standing before me. "It's you." I realized almost instantly that he had drugged me. "Gu Lin, you're despicable and shameless. Using such low-down tactics." Gu Lin looked at me with eyes full of resentment. He said bitterly, "Su Han Mei, if you must blame someone, blame yourself for being so disobedient. Wouldn't it be better if you just obediently married me? Why must you insist on attending that university? Why must you embarrass me in front of Chief Song? Don't you realize I was supposed to get promoted this time when I returned?" I forced myself to stand straight. panting as I spoke. Gu Lin, don't think I don't know what you're up to. Aren't you just hoping my parents will continue to support your broken family out of consideration for me? Ask yourself honestly, how much of your monthly allowance and salary have you given to your own family? Gu Lin let out a cold laugh and sneered. So what? Blame your grandfather if you must. For insisting that as long as you got into college, you wouldn't have to marry me. Why should I? This is what you owe our family. Don't even mention your father's hand in your marriage. Your whole family should be repaying our family's kindness. We could have had a proper wedding, but you forced me to do this. I turned to run, but the next moment, Lin Jiao suddenly appeared and shoved me to the ground. Why waste words talking to her? Move faster. The moment I saw Lin Jiao, I widened my eyes and said, Lin Jiao, why are you helping Gu Lin? You hurt me, so how could I let you have an easy time? Lin Jiao looked at me with a sinister gaze. Su Hanmei, stay here obediently and get married. I clutched the grass on the ground, staring at Gu Lin as I spoke. You dare. If you do this, I'll tell Director Song, then you won't be able to stay in the military anymore. Lin Jiao bent down, slapped my face with her hand, and sneered. Su Hanmei, do you think we didn't think of that? Gu Lin also took the medicine. Later. Just say the kids were fooling around and accidentally spilled the powder into the water for you to drink. It was all an accident. And who would believe you? Unlike you, who was seen fooling around with a man in public. Whether you're willing or not, if you don't get married, you'll be waiting to be drowned in a pig cage. My body felt as if it were on fire, as if every drop of water within me were being burned away, even my blood boiling in response. I steeled my heart and abruptly bit my lip, using the pain to jolt myself back to clarity. On the other side, Gu Lin's gaze had already grown muddled, his eyes brimming with undisguised lust. Lin Jiao crouched on the ground, looking at me triumphantly. Su Hanmei, don't even think anyone will come to save you. I've already sent everyone away. Even if you bite your lips until they bleed and scream until your voice is hoarse, no one will be able to save you. Su Hanmei, stay here for a lifetime. This is your fate. Lin Jiao's wild laughter echoed in my ears, and in a daze, it reminded me of how she had been the same at Gu Lin's funeral in my previous life. She is clearly the same age as me, yet she looks 20 years younger. Her elegant demeanor was worlds apart from my own, who had been provoked to the brink of madness. I clearly remember how she walked step by step toward me, proudly flaunting in my face. Su Hanmei, what does it matter that you've been married to Gu Lin for 40 years? He only married you to find a housekeeper, someone to take care of his parents, raise his younger siblings, and manage every single thing inside and outside the home. He said, I'm not like you. You were born to serve others. Unlike me, who is meant to be pampered and live a life of ease. Speaking of which, I should thank you for letting me enjoy so many years of happiness with Brother Gu. I was so angry that I trembled all over, raising my hand to slap her. But my children pushed me to the ground. Dad and Aunt Lin are truly meant for each other. Mom, why don't you take a look at yourself now? I'd be embarrassed to even call you my mother. Dad's funeral and Dad's assets, how they're handled is entirely his business. What right does someone who did nothing have to interfere? Dad wasn't wrong back then. You've just been spoiled by having it too easy. They stood on the side of the people who ruined my life. Their words of condemnation piercing my heart at its most tender place. I was driven to death by anger, and even in my final moments, I could still hear them complaining that my death was unlucky, having been given a second chance at life. After all I've done, how could I possibly accept the same ending as before? I tilted my head to look at Gu Lin, who was already delirious and coming toward me, my gaze falling on the stone beside Lin Jiao. A surge of inexplicable strength filled my body, and just as Gu Lin was about to grab me, I forcefully picked up the stone and smashed it against Lin Jiao's head. Lin Jiao collapsed limply to the ground, and with that same burst of energy, I desperately scrambled to my feet. Gu Lin immediately pounced on Lin Jiao, tearing at her clothes relentlessly. Lin Jiao was stunned by my sudden blow, and when she came to her senses, she immediately shielded her clothes. Gu Lin, look clearly. I'm not Su Hanmei. Let go of me. At first, she tried to wake up Gu Lin's reason, but they had taken the act too far, administering too much powdered drug, leaving Gu Lin completely irrational. Having served in the military for several years, he naturally had the strength to easily overpower Lin Jiao. Lin Jiao finally began to panic. She cried out, begging Gu Lin to spare her, even pleading with me, Su Hanmei, save me. I know I was wrong. Please, please save me. I threw the rock I had used to hit her onto the ground. A flicker of hope crossed Lin Jiao's face as she desperately crawled toward it, intending to pick it up and knock Gu Lin unconscious just as I had done. But just as her fingers were about to touch the rock, Gu Lin violently yanked her back and tore her clothes open. I turned away, ignoring the screams and curses behind me, and walked step by step toward the other side, avoiding the crowd. I went straight home and immersed myself in the water tank. At the last moment before consciousness faded, I saw my mother drop the farming tools in her hands and rush toward me in a hurry. Don't call anyone. After uttering these words, I completely passed out. Once again, I regained consciousness, and before my eyes were my worried parents. Hanmei, it's good you're awake. It's good you're awake. Mom had been terribly frightened, and now she finally let out a sigh of relief. I forced a faint smile, feeling guilty as I spoke. Dad, Mom, I'm sorry for making you worry. Mom shook her head and stroked my hair as she spoke. Was it Gu Lin and Lin Jiao again? Before I could ask, my father spoke up from the side. Gu Lin and Lin Jiao were caught having an affair in the grove. I heard they can't be separated. Near that piece of land. I recall it's where you work. Hanmei. I nodded and told my parents everything that had happened. After hearing my words, my mother pulled me into her arms and said with heartache, those two beasts. Why won't they let my Hanmei go? Father looked at me worriedly and said, Hanmei, I'm afraid they might pin this on you. Why don't you go stay with your grandmother for a while? Your mother and I can handle the work here. I shook my head and spoke up. Can't avoid it. I'm leaving. Afraid it will confirm this matter.